So nine energy is about revisiting the past. So I wouldn't be surprised for some of you if you hear from somebody that you knew previously, like maybe they're just sitting there and they're reminiscing, right? Like sometimes we do that. We reminisce, man, do you remember when so and I got together and what a great time we had? So I wouldn't be surprised if you hear from an old friend or somebody that you were romantically involved with, because the energy of nine is reliving the past. The thing is you don't want to get stuck there. You don't want to just keep reliving the past and getting stuck there, right? We want to keep evolving and moving on. So all right. Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. So my name is Christine. I am the Astro CEO. Welcome. I want everybody to feel like they're at home here. All right. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. And let's jump right in. Let's talk about September. We we got a lot going on. I almost feel like when I take a couple days off and I don't record, like there's so much news going on and so much happening. Like it's hard to get caught up again, right? So I'll do my best here. I'll give you my take on September, a general overview. For those of you that are new to the channel, I am a psychic medium, and so that's what I do best. And I'm also an astrologer and a numerologist. And I love human design. So I incorporate a little bit of all of that into my readings and my sessions with you guys. All right. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about September. I want to start off. Let's talk about, sorry, my table's wiggling here. Let's talk about astrology. Let's start there. So some of the things that are going on, Mercury retrograde is not in retrograde anymore. So it went direct late August. And so Mercury is now direct, but I just want to give you a word of caution that Mercury is still in its what I call its wobble period. So once it goes direct, it takes time to kind of get its mojo back. So you'll still feel the effects a little bit of Mercury being in retrograde, and that deals with electronics, communication, um, you know, um, communication is the big one. Electronics, travel plans can get messed up. So just double check. So for those of you that are traveling this holiday weekend, just double check, make sure your reservations are secured. All right, that's the type of thing that can happen when Mercury's in retrogrades. So we have a new moon happening today in Virgo. So just to be exact, it is happening at 9:56 p.m. Eastern. Virgo new moon will happen. So what does that mean? So I like to, when I teach classes, when I do these videos, I want to uncomplicate things for you. So there's a lot of astrologers out there that use these big words and, they try to make it sound really complicated when it's not. So basically, a new moon means that it's a great time to start something new. Now, depending upon what sign it falls in, that's the type of influence that you have on that new moon. So all new moons, no matter what sign that they're in, it's always a great time to start something new, to put your energy out there into the world and see what comes to fruition. Okay, so let me break it down for you so it's easy to understand. So we have a new moon that's happening in Virgo. So why, as astrologers, why do we say that? Because the new moon, when you look at the calendar, we're in Virgo season right now. So that's why we say there's a new moon in Virgo. So what does that mean exactly? So when you look at Virgos and you look at the Virgo energy, it's very earthy. It's very, very pure, very, a lot of Virgos that I know have a lot of perfectionism. They have a way of streamlining systems and procedures. And so whatever energy, whatever new thing that you're putting out there into the world, what you want to do is you want to add a little bit of that Virgo sort of energy into that new thing that you're putting out there. So Virgo energy, a lot of Virgos that I know are very, they're perfectionists and they notice things. So I have a couple of Virgo friends, and my stepfather was a Virgo. And what I can tell you, and I've dated Virgo men, and what I can tell you about Virgos is they see things that other people don't. Like literally, like if you have a sweater on and there's like a little, those little balls that happen on your sweater, like they'll spot that and they'll go, "Oh, you got something right there. Let me take care of it." Like they notice everything. So that's the kind of Virgo energy. Like make sure that you've double checked everything that you're putting out into the world today. If you're starting a new project, be Virgo-esque like. So make sure that you double check everything. Make sure it's streamlined. Make sure that you're not missing any mistakes, because that's kind of Virgo energy. The other thing I can tell you about Virgos, which I've noticed over the years, just my general observation, is they see things that other people don't see. So I use the little fur ball on your sweater as an example. But they see things, when you're out with them, they see things that you may miss. And they're funny. Like every Virgo that I've known and the Virgo men that I've dated, they have this dry sense of humor about them, and they're funny, and they see things, like I said, they see things that we don't. And when they point it out, like for me, I'll look at it and I'll just start cracking up laughing because I didn't see it, right? So a Virgo will help you spot things out there that you can miss. So, and they're funny. A lot of Virgos are hilarious. So whatever you're putting out there into the world, add a little touch of humor to it. Like I know some of us have been like really serious lately, like there's serious things going on. Virgos tend to be really funny because they can see things that we totally miss, right? And so add a little bit of humor into whatever it is that you're putting out there into the world today. Again, today is the new moon. It's a great day to put your stuff out into the universe, send it out to the world and see what happens. Okay. It's a great day to start a new project. Add a little humor into it. Okay. And make sure that what you're putting out is streamlined, that it's efficient for other people to understand, and double check for mistakes, right? I'll probably do a lot of editing on this video because it's like, ooh, Virgo energy, right? But add a little humor into it, When was the last time you had a good laugh? Add some humor into it, because every Virgo that I've known is hilarious. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's just a general observation that I've made over the years about, dating Virgo men and having Virgo friends. Like they're hilarious. Okay. So today is the new moon. Okay, in Virgo. The other heavy hitter that I want to talk about, there's a lot of planetary things happening in astrology, but they're very minute compared to like what's happening now in astrology. So as astrologers, there's some months where we're like, wow, nothing really big is happening. It's kind of like pretty boring. And then there's other months where we're like, whoa, hang on to your garters, Aunt Gertie, because there's some big stuff happening. Well, this is one of those months. It's big stuff happening. So I'm going to just cover briefly what I see astrologically, and then we'll get into some other things. But this month on September 17th, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to miss anything. Okay. So we have the lunar eclipse that's happening on the 17th. Okay. And so I want to talk about that for those of you. And again, I like to streamline things in a very simple way that you can understand them and apply it to your life. The job of an eclipse is to cause disruption in your life. It's to create change. And I know for a lot of you, you don't like change. I'm one of those people, like, I don't like change, especially if things are going really well. Like, why switch it up? Right? That's my view. Like, why switch it up if things are going really well? And some people have a hard time with change. That's what's happening right now. The job of an eclipse is to come into your life and disrupt what's going on. And as an astrologer, what we do is when we're looking at your astrology forecast, we want to see where the eclipse is landing inside of your chart. And that's how we can pinpoint and say, hey, you know what? This is happening in your money area, or this is helping influencing your self-image, or this is happening in your house of family. Okay. So that's what we do as astrologers. We need to see where that eclipse is landing inside of your chart. But since this is just a general forecast, I'm going to talk about the general energy of this eclipse. First and foremost, you can feel an eclipse 1 month before they happen. Okay, so some of you have probably already felt the eclipse, and you can feel them 1 month after the date. So the date is September 17th. Okay, so we can still feel this all the way till October 17th. The job of a lunar eclipse, that's what's coming month, the job of a lunar eclipse is to take something away. Its job is to come in, and the eclipse's job is to come into your life and sort of create change, okay? And the lunar eclipse, which is separate from a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse takes something out of your life, and the solar eclipse brings new energy in. Okay, so what we're going to experience first is something's being taken away. So now, depending upon where it falls in your chart, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, right? So, and it could be something minute. It could be something like your favorite TV show is coming to an end, right? I know the first thing that comes to my mind is the Yellowstone series, right? So my husband and I just started watching that. And yeah, the last season is going to be this year. So we're trying to watch the past episodes to get caught up. But it could be something minute like that, like one of your favorite shows is ending, or maybe your favorite hairstylist is moving. Okay, and that's the disruption. It could be something like that, or it could be something major. It could be that you lose a job. It could be that you lose a family member, or you lose a friend. So it really depends on where the eclipse is landing inside your individual chart. But overall, the general energy, because it's just my general observation, is this is a lunar eclipse, so something will be taken away. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. The other thing I want to mention is that the lunar eclipse is happening on the 17th, but then on the 20th of September, we have the sun forming an opposition to Neptune. So there's going to be sort of that Neptunian influence on this eclipse. So what does that mean? Let me just simplify it for you, because I don't like when astrologers use these big words and they don't really explain what it is. Neptune, whenever we talk about Neptune or it shows up in your chart, Neptune, I want you to associate it with this. Neptune is like rubbing Vaseline on the mirror. Okay. Very simple understanding of Neptune. If you hear astrologers talk about Neptune, you want a simplified version of what Neptune means. It's rubbing Vaseline on a mirror. It's hard to see, right? So when you put Vaseline, you're like, God, I just want to take a towel here and I just want to wipe it off so that I can see. That's the influence of Neptune. It's very it's hard to see things when off so that I can see. That's the influence of Neptune. It's very you have a Neptune influence. So because this sun is opposing Neptune on the 20th and the eclipse is on the 17th, it may be hard to see what's coming, or it may be hard to see at the time why this eclipse is happening in your life, because we want to take the paper towel and we want to clean off the mirror so we can see. You can't do that when Neptune shows up. Okay, so think of it like that. Vaseline on a mirror. Anytime you hear any astrologer talk about Neptune, that's what it is. It's really hard to see clearly when you're under that Neptune influence, and it's happening really close to the eclipse. So my take on that is it may be hard to understand why something is happening in your life on this particular eclipse. Okay. You may find out later down the road, oh, I see why this happened. Okay. So because Neptune is really having an influence on this eclipse. Okay, so that's what I see coming later this month, is that the eclipse is the big one. Okay, so just pay attention to that. We have a lot of other transits that are happening throughout the month, but I really just want to focus on the big heavy hitters here that can really have an impact on your life. Okay, so so that is what's happening in astrology. I'm just looking at my notes here because I don't want to miss anything. Okay, let's talk about numerology. Okay, so we are in the month of 9. Okay, September is the 9th month of the year. And so we're under that 9 influence. So what does that mean? Okay, so let me break it down for you so you understand. The number 9, when we do numerology, we look at the numbers 1 through 9. 9 is the last number in the series. Okay, so 9 deals with endings. Okay. And it also deals with there's the positive aspects and negative aspects of every number. So I'll cover that. Nine energy is about ending something, because when we look at astrology or numerology, it's 1 through 9. 9 is the last one. It deals with endings. It deals with completing things. Okay, so that's a good thing. So if you've been working on something, this is the month to kind of wrap that energy up. It's also a good month, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but it's a really good month to like do your fall cleaning and getting rid of things, like go through your clothes, go through your closets, clean house, because before you know it, the holidays are going to be here. And nobody wants to be cleaning house or going through things during the holidays. You want to get all those loose ends wrapped up in the month of September. So this is a great month if you've been thinking about reorganizing your closet, redecorating, getting rid of things. Like really, this is a good month to get rid of stuff, let stuff go, clean up your emails. Maybe you need to clean up your friends list, right? Get rid of things that no longer serve you anymore. This is a good month to do that. That's the energy of 9. The other thing that happens with the energy of 9 is we have a tendency to revisit the past and to get stuck there. So 9 energy is about revisiting the past. So I wouldn't be surprised for some of you if you hear from somebody that you knew previously, like maybe they're just sitting there and they're reminiscing, right? Like sometimes we do that. We reminisce, man, do you remember when so and so and I got together and what a great time we had? So I wouldn't be surprised if you hear from an old friend or somebody that you were romantically involved with, because the energy of 9 is reliving the past. The thing is you don't want to get stuck there. You don't want to just keep reliving the past and getting stuck there, right? We want to keep evolving and moving on. So it's okay to revisit the past, just don't get stuck there. That's what 9 energy is all about. Also, 9 energy, when I'm looking and doing charts for clients, um, and they have a lot of 9s in their charts. One thing that I've noticed is 9s don't abandon people. Okay, so see if that is coming up for you. I'm really interested to know. Maybe you can write in the comments, 9 energy. 9s don't abandon people. So you may have that energy of like, oh my God, I can't abandon this project. I can't abandon this person. I can't abandon, fill in the blank, whatever that is for you. 9s don't abandon people or things. So that is also the energy that may pop up for a lot of you in September. Okay, so interesting month. This is a month of action, getting things done. With the eclipse coming, it may force you to really complete projects and get things wrapped up during this 9 energy. So that's what's going on when we look at the astrology and the numerology for September. Okay, so normally what I do is when I do my general forecast, sometimes, not always, but sometimes I get a word that is associated with that month. For this month, I'm not getting anything. I've meditated on it. I've asked for clarity. I'm getting nothing. So I don't know what the word is for this month. Last month, I was feeling the word eruption. So I was really thinking there might be some sort of volcanic eruption, or it could be an eruption of applause. And we actually did see that at the DNC, the eruption of applause, the eruption of what's happening in the United States, right? There is an eruption going on. But for this month, I'm getting nothing. Okay. So if that changes, I'll let you know. There's a lot happening, and I may break this down into other bite-sized pieces, but I wanted to answer a viewer had a question about the Supreme Court and what I see going forward after the election with the Supreme Court. So I want to go ahead and make a prediction on that, tell you what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. The Supreme Court, okay, what I'm feeling right now, this is a prediction that I'm making, is sometime within the next 4 years, there will be 2 to 3 justices that will be leaving the Supreme Court. I can tell you that what I'm feeling right now is that for sure, Clarence Thomas will be leaving the Supreme Court. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a health related issue. I don't know if this person crosses. Or some other circumstance that happens. But I do see Clarence Thomas leaving the Supreme Court sometime within the next 4 years after the election and 4 years going forward. I also see another justice leaving. I don't know who that is right now. I could clearly see for sure, 100%, that there's two justices that will be leaving the Supreme Court within the next 4 years. One will be Clarence Thomas. I'm not getting a hit on who that other person is. Once I do, I will let you know. But for sure, I see two justices leaving the Supreme Court. And this morning, I was thinking about that this morning. I also see a possibility of a third justice leaving the Supreme Court sometime within the next 4 years. Don't know the names, don't know the circumstances. If I get more information, you will be the first to know. But that is my prediction regarding the Supreme Court. I did a prediction, I believe it was I don't know if it was for my Facebook group or the Level Up Your Life in Biz membership, but I did a prediction the last time. I got a strong hit that Clarence Thomas, in terms of his physical health, wasn't doing well. And then boom, I think it was 2 days later, he was in the hospital. So I did get that hit. I still feel like his health isn't that great right now. So I don't know if he's leaving for a health related issue or something else, but his health is not that good. I still feel that way. I think that this last health scare that he had when he was in the hospital was a precursor. Like there's something going on. I just don't feel like he is at his optimum. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm feeling with Clarence Thomas. So this should be a very interesting month for everybody. We've got a lot of astrological news happening. The big headliner is the eclipse that's coming. So yeah, I would like to know in the comments, just let me know, how are you surviving eclipse season? Have you already felt the influence of the eclipse in your own personal life? Let me know. And again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.